Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. First a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
News First Channel head Siobhan Daniels selected as the Executive of the Year of the Capital Maharaj Organization for 2012-2013. The Deputy Mayor of Moratuwa, accused of murdering a monk, obstructed from entering the Urban Council chambers. Members of the Pradeshia Sabhas protest against the increased electricity tariffs. While the UNP charges that a mafia is operating behind the increase in the electricity tariffs. And the health sector stresses the importance of seeking medical attention to combat the influenza A virus.
And now for the stories in detail. A tense situation arose at the Moratuwa Municipal Council premises this morning when Deputy Mayor of the Municipal Council, Sujit Pushpakumara, was brought from prison.
Sujit Pushpakumara, who was arrested on charges of murdering the chief incumbent of the Sunandopananda Vihara in Igoda Uyana, Moratuwa, is still in remand custody. He was brought to the council session this morning by prison officials. Although the deputy mayor was brought to the municipal council to attend the council session as ordered by the Moratuwa magistrate, area residents did not allow him to disembark from the prison bus. Later, the mayor of Moratuwa too arrived at the location. This is what happened thereafter. One person received minor injuries in the incident. Due to this protest, the prison bus had been taken out of the municipal council premises. Later, a group including municipal council employees engaged in a protest at the council premises. Thereafter, the prison bus left the location. According to our correspondent, the proceedings of the meeting commenced after a delay of about 1.5 hours and opposition members left the council chambers.
The headquarters of the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau was declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa today.
The foundation stone of the 9-story building was laid with the second swearing-in of President Mahinda Rajapaksa on the 19th of November 2010. 300 million rupees from the Bureau itself was spent in the construction of this building. The building, which has many modern facilities, is built in an eco-friendly manner. Incidentally, the 40th anniversary of the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau also falls today.
Well, taking a look at our developing story for tonight, protests were held in several parts of the island today as well against the increase in electricity tariffs.
This was the manner in which UNP members of the Deputy Pradeshia Sabha entered the Sabha premises. The Pradeshia Sabha members of the governing party reacted in this manner. The situation has arisen where they claim to be the people's government and have hit at the stomachs of the public after having cheated them and obtained their votes. The opposition members of the Kolonnawa Pradesh Sabha also engaged in a protest today by lighting bottle lamps during the council sessions. It is to maintain the luxurious lifestyles of a few that the people are burdened with these taxes. A key factor of this burden is the electricity tariff. The majority of the people living in this country do not belong to a class that enjoys special privileges. Opposition members of the Ambalantura Pradesh Sabha entered the council premises in this manner. The protesting Pradesh Sabha members thereafter found that the doors to the chamber had been locked. The opposition members of the Dambulla Pradesh Sabha showed their protest against the electricity tariffs by wearing yellow shawls.
Speaking to reporters today, UNP parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva says the mafia on privatization is in operation behind the increase of the electricity tariffs.
LTL projects
I can responsibly mention here that in 2004, when this government came into power, the Ceylon Electricity Board owned 63% of shares of the LTL projects. Now what have we got to know about it is that 63% of LTL has been privatized without telling anyone. Back in 2005, the CEB owned 63% of Heladanawe and now it has diluted down to 23%. Has this not been privatized? The mafia is in operation through this. The parliamentarian elaborated on the alternative proposal presented by the UNP regarding the electricity tariffs.
විකල්ප යෝජනාවේ කිසිම විදියකට
In this alternative proposal, the electricity tariff will not change from 0 to 30 and from 30 to 60. There is no difference from 90 to 120 units as well. But it will increase from 180 to 1000 units. They are expecting an income of 85 billion rupees from domestic consumers. Through our alternative proposal, they will receive an income of 82 billion rupees. When the electricity bill is increased, the number of units used will decrease. And the need for generation will also decrease and 3 billion rupees will be saved.
අපි යෝජනා කරලා තියෙන විකල්ප යෝජනාවෙන් ලැබෙන රුපියල් බිලියන 82ක්. ඒ රුපියල් බිලියන 3ක වෙනස.
Secretary of Defence Gotabaya Rajapaksa toured Kandy today.
The Secretary of Defence paid homage to the sacred tooth relic in Kandy during this visit. Later, the Secretary of Defence called on Most Venerable Sri Siddhartha Sumangala Matera at the Malwatha Vihara. Our correspondent said that the Secretary of Defence also met with the Anunayaka of the Malwatha chapter, Most Venerable Niyangoda Vijita Siritera. Later on, the Secretary of Defence called on the Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter, Most Venerable Udugama Sri Buddha Rakita Thera. Gotabaya Rajapaksa made this visit to Kandy to invite the Mahanayakas for the Jaipirit Deshanaya that will take place at the BMICH next month.
Health services point out that complications can be avoided by seeking immediate medical attention once symptoms of the influenza A virus are detected. Director of the Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Paba Paliyavadana, said that expectant mothers and children should take adequate precautions in this regard.
Doctors say that high fever, difficulty in breathing, cough and chest pains are the symptoms of this virus.
Influenza is a respiratory infection. It is a common infection in our country, but it's a normal viral infection which disappears within 3 to 4 days, and many people, a large percentage of people won't get any complications, but rarely in vulnerable groups such as in pregnant mothers, elderly people, those who have chronic illnesses, and then in small children and in infants, this infection may lead to complications.
Speaking on News First, the director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children, specialist Dr. Ratna Sirihevage, said that 5 out of the 19 samples that were obtained from the 18th of April and sent to the Medical Research Institute tested positive for the influenza A virus.
I want to emphasize the parents of the children. If your child has a influenza-like illness or what is called, cough and cold, better to take the proper medical treatment rather than trying various remedies, home-based remedies.
Recently, 2 women died at the intensive care unit at the Castle Street Teaching Hospital after contracting the influenza A infection. The director of the Castle Teaching Hospital, Dr. W.K. Vikramasinghe, said that another 10 mothers suspected to have been infected with influenza A are receiving in-house treatment. One of the mothers has been directed to the special treatment unit. The director of the hospital added that the intensive care unit of the hospital has been temporarily closed. Meanwhile, Director General of Health Services, Dr. Palitha Mahipala, commented on the situation at an event held today.
කලින් කලට දැඩි සත්කාර ඒකකවල සමහර වෙලාවට විවිධ විස බීජ නිසා
From time to time, infections can occur at the intensive care unit in a hospital. Sometimes a death may also occur. At that time, what we do is we temporarily suspend activities in the ICU. When such a situation arises, according to medical science, we appoint a committee comprising of intellectuals to look into the matter and make recommendations. Their recommendation was to separate the patients who are diagnosed with these infections and identify a solution.
රෝගීන් වෙන් කරලා තියන්න සාය සඳහා විවිධ ප්‍රතිකාර ක්‍රම කරන්න කිව්වා.
The strain of the influenza virus that is spreading is yet to be confirmed.
Recently, there has been an outbreak of influenza A. Influenza A virus has several subtypes, and sometimes when it spreads across every year, you get a different influenza subtype. And sometimes when it spreads across the world, it's called a pandemic. So it's important not to panic, but just to be aware that there are things like this, and all the relevant authorities are taking the necessary measures to see if there is any issue and taking the necessary steps for treatment and handling the situation. So there's nothing to panic, but it's just to clear what this infection is.
The Ministry of Health also says that appropriate measures should be taken to prevent bird flu from entering the country. Director General of Health Services, Dr. Palitha Mahipala, said that those arriving to the island are screened at a special health office set up at the Bandaranaike International Airport. He added that samples are being sent for testing to prevent the disease from entering the country, and a review committee has been appointed for this purpose. Patients with bird flu are being reported from China, Vietnam and several other countries.